Good morning.
Hi, Brent.
Good morning.
Hi. What's Anna got on her profile pic?
Taylor, you cut her hair. I love it.
Thanks.
Welcome to class. Let's all pretend we're in a different location than where we've been for the last 2 weeks. Let's start off with a movie screening, shall we?
Sorry.
We need to. Oh, by the way, if your audio's on mute and you hit the space bar, it temporarily unmutes it. Learned that trick yesterday. I don't know if it works the opposite way. If you're on mute,
I think you have to hold spacebar, right?
yeah,
Hold it down.
yeah. I don't think it works to go from unmuted to muted, but if you are muted and you hold spacebar, you can talk and then let go. It takes a second. Okay. Hi, Maddie. Let's look at some typography, shall we?
Sweet home Alabama.
One nit is approximately the light emitted by a common candle. Therefore, 1,000 nits equals 1,000 candles worth of brightness.
What's something you noticed about this video and a lot of other Apple videos as far as placement of elements on screen?
Center text.
Centered text the whole way. That's kind of like Apple's brand. And why do you think Apple does that? Why is that part of their iconic visual approach?
It's
They're very
minimalistic.
minimalist focused.
Yeah, see, they're trying to be simple, and that's the simplest possible placement, which is why when some of you want to really focus people's attention in on a thought or a sentence, you placed it in the center, and I said, okay, that's probably okay, but you don't want to place every single word in the center, and you certainly don't want to just fade in long horizontal lines of text centered horizontally and vertically in your screen every time, because that is the default. It's what's expected. It's the simplest possible thing you can do. So yes, it is sometimes appropriate. Now, the video we just watched, would you call that simple? Would you call it minimalist?
It was all black and white, so yeah, probably.
So it's pretty simple because the color, right? But what about the editing on that piece?
It was crazy. Well, and they also
Mind-blowing,
have
right?
more than just type
Yeah.
elements.
Yeah, see, if Apple had turned that in for this project, they would not get a good grade because they included video footage, which is not allowed in our project. But yeah, there was a lot more going on there than just centered text. There's one point where there's a few words. Yeah, let me see if I can find it and I'll share it again. I don't think it's here, but there's one point where it sort of places the words across the screen. I mean, look at all this. There is a lot happening here. First of all, were you able to read every word? Did you have trouble reading it, or did you feel like you could keep up with it?
I feel like I could read most of it, but sometimes I was like having a hard time keeping up.
Struggling, right? They know who's in the market for their phones, right? They know who the early adopters are, the technology fans are, and people like that can read really fast blinking text like this. I would not do something like this if I wanted my mom to read it, for example. Or is it? Here it is. This was really nice. Very simple, but really nice. And really black, jet black. So sometimes it's, even though everything is centered, there's still a lot of sort of sub animation happening within the text that's dead center. Yeah, see, there's this is really nice. It has A10 Fusion chip. The editing is just frenetic. And so it ends up not being boring. Plus it's Apple, you expect to see centered text for Apple. So unless you're Apple, I recommend not just defaulting to centered text. That's why that is such a hang up for me. Okay. Let us look at your typographic videos, for they are due today. We need to move on. We have less than a month left in the semester, and we have to get to your final projects. So I am going to encourage you to show them from your own machine and do the screen share like I just did with that Apple video. Even though it might not be full frame rate, I think that's going to be the easiest way for today's presentation. And please make sure that you upload it to Learning Suite. Learning Suite has been very buggy and slow, and sometimes doesn't work at all. But please, eventually, before it becomes time for me to grade these, upload them to Learning Suite. That's how I'm going to give you your grade. For today, though, if you haven't it seems like all of you have had to share your screen at one point. You guys know how to do that at this point, right? I'm going to allow you to self-select who goes first and in which order we go. So feel free to take over.
Can we turn this in by midnight?
Yes, yes. If you turn them in by midnight, you can still get full credit. But I won't be able to watch them now, and I'll be sad.
Sorry, I'm only on scene 21, and I have 24 scenes, and I haven't done transition between. So I did this all yesterday because so it was very stressful.
So for mine, since I'm turning it in now, I can make edits later and still get the chance to like get a higher grade, right?
Correct. If you turn in a good faith finished project today, you can have until, what is it, April 22nd, whatever the very last day of the semester, last day of finals is, to turn it in and improve your grade.
I
That
can
is
go
how things
first.
work. Okay, go ahead and put it up there for us, Juju. Thank you.
I have a meeting with Adrian, so I'm gonna have to like
Okay.
leave the class early.
Now,
Am I hearing-
Adrian, he's not supposed to be planning appointments during other people's classes.
Adrian.
I've teased him about it before.
Okay.
How do you share your life with somebody?
Well, we grew up together. I used to read all of her writing, all through her master's and PhD. She read every word I ever wrote. Big influence on each other.
In what way did you influence her?
She came from a background where nothing was ever good enough. And that was something that weighed heavy on her. But in our house together, there was a sense of just trying stuff and allowing each other to fail and to be excited about things. That was liberating for her. It was exciting to see her grow. Both of us grow and change together. But that's also the hard part. Growing apart, changing without it scaring the other person. I still find myself having conversations in my mind. I have some old arguments, defending myself against something she said about me.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Last week, my feelings were hurt by something you said before, that I don't know what it's like to lose something, and I found
I'm
myself.
sorry I said that.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I just.
Yep, that's it.
Wow. Way to pull that off. Since we talked last, that was really nice moments in there.
Sorry, wait, I was a weirdo.
Was that the dog by your house?
Yeah.
Is that
Sorry.
your dog, Juju?
Yeah, I have 4 dogs right now.
Oh my goodness. No wonder we can hear dogs. So yeah, let's talk about that. What's working well in Juju's piece? Juju's heard plenty from me. She wants to hear from you now.
I thought the pacing was really good, like how everything was either slow or fast when it needed to be fast. I liked that.
It was very calming with the pacing.
The color scheme was very cohesive, and I thought fit the mood and tone overall quite well.
Do you want to talk about where the color scheme came from, Juju?
Yeah, so I took it from the movie. I just took some scenes and like the fonts as well. Like all of it's like from the movie. So I just took like all of my inspiration from there. Yep, that's it.
Good comments. Let's keep them coming.
I liked when the text got big. I thought that was cool when it was like the zoom in. I don't know if that made any sense, but I like that part.
Yes, good visual pacing in scale.
I thought one thing that was really nice was when the guy was talking on the girl, how you brought that color in to indicate that like he was speaking, and like that choice of color was really smart. And then like all of the editing was, or like, I mean by editing, like the scratching out and the circles was all also red, and you kept that like very consistent, and that consistency also like helped make it super cohesive.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, there's a really nice moment when the period from a sentence that's just been spoken lingers on screen on the bottom center, and then it enlarges. I don't think you should leave. Like, I think there should just be one period. It seems like is there a second period that grows out of the period that's left? I think just the period that's left should grow itself rather than having a second one.
Yeah, so I was trying to like get the pink background. And so
Oh.
at first I was gonna have it like do that, but I couldn't really figure out how to do it. But I can play with it and see like how I can play with it, yeah.
You know, maybe the lingering period, it's red, I think, or is it white on red? But if it's red, maybe it just blinks pink and then it grows, and then you don't need the two copies of it, because it's such a nice transition. It's a simple Apple-esque transition.
Okay.
Anything that, now we can't really see what the frame rate was. It looked like it was about 10 frames on my computer, but I'm sure it's full frame rate. Anything that you would, any advice you'd give to Juju for improvements as far as editing or typography or otherwise? It's perfect, Juju. There's no changes needing to be made.
No, I have a lot of things that I want to fix, but
yeah.
I thought it was beautiful, Juju. I thought maybe the part where at the end where his words go over like diagonal, maybe you were meaning for that to be jarring, but like with all the text like coming on pretty elegantly and sliding very like horizontal back and forth. I don't know if that really fit for me, but I think it just depends on what you're going for.
The part where she's reading, or he's reading, talking about the dissertation, I got a little bit lost there. I don't know if that was just me, but I'm also not sure how you could like make it more coherent. I don't know.
Did you think there was too much going on? Like,
yeah, like I liked the idea and it was really cool, but I didn't understand like where they were saying and what they were saying because I was too busy like reading the words that were in.
Okay.
That was the same for me, but I wasn't sure if it was just because it wasn't loading all the way on my computer or if it was actually just, yeah, I wasn't quite sure what was happening. I think part of it might have been the frame rate on my own computer.
And I know that one was very hard because like it just have a lot of different paragraphs, and I think it looks too busy, so I want to work around that.
Yeah, I think extending what Ryan said about that one particular part, it's really nice how his interruption goes over her text. That's a nice effect. I think just having his text appear over hers without being tilted would be enough. Ryan pointed out it's a little bit too jarring right now, and I think if you were just have them go over, and maybe it's not just one long horizontal line, but maybe it's like this column, so it serves as a counterpoint to her horizontal line, and his comes in as this horizontal column right on top. But yeah, it turned out quite nice, Juju, and yeah, a few more changes to refine it, of course, but you'll have a nice piece. Okay, thanks for your comments, everyone. So, by the way, there is, if you look at your participants list, do you guys see the vertical list of everybody's name and whether or not they're muted or their video's muted? There's buttons at the bottom. There's a yes, a no, a go slower, a go faster, and then there's also a more with 3 dots on it. There's a clapping icon there. There's a thumbs up, thumbs down, and there's a coffee break. There's also, the clock means away. Here, I'm gonna show you guys what I'm talking about. Rather than telling you, let me show you.
Will's done it.
Will's doing it right now.
Just do it. I didn't know how it would go, but yeah, you just.
There you go. Clapping icon. So yeah.
Wait, but how did you do that?
There's buttons at the bottom of the screen. If you have it like in full screen, they're just down the bottom under reactions. Yeah.
If you, at the bottom of your screen, Taylor, there's a manage participants button, and if you click that, you'll get the list of participants. And then
yeah, I found it.
You got it. I saw the thumbs up. So I'm going to try to remember to take breaks today, but if I don't, go ahead and put the coffee cup up on your screen to remind me around the hour mark. One poor student had that up for like 2 hours in another class, and I didn't know what it meant yet. But now I do. All right, who wants to go next?
I could go next.
Okay.
I can figure out how to go next. Am I still in? It says that I'm like kicked out of the thing.
Now we can see your video.
Oh, sweet.
Great moments are born from great opportunity. And that's what you have here tonight, boy. That's what you've earned here tonight. One game. If we played them 10 times, they might win 9. But not this game. Not tonight. Tonight, we skate with them. Tonight, we stay with them. And we shut them down because we can. Tonight, we are the greatest hockey team in the world.
USA! USA! Sorry, Juju. Were you guys able to see that smoothly enough? No.
To see for me, like
It was really laggy.
yeah.
Okay, let's try something. I heard that if you turn off your video, it helps bandwidth. Let's try that. Everybody mute your video, but leave your audio on. And Rachel, do you want to play it one more time?
Yes.
Okay.
Great moments are born from great opportunity. And that's what you have here tonight, boys. That's what you've earned here tonight. One game. If we played them 10 times, they might win 9. But not this game. Not tonight. Tonight, we skate with them. Tonight, we stay with them. And we shut them down because we can. Tonight, we are the greatest hockey team in the world.
It looked better for me,
It looked better for me too.
but several people said it's like 2 seconds behind. Wow. Sorry, Maddie. Maddie Quilter. Oh, Maddie Quilter is Taylor?
Yeah, I logged in on my roommates to do a workout this morning with her, and then I couldn't figure out my password, so I was like, I'll just stay.
I thought Maddie Terrell maybe was Maddie Quilter. Oh,
Got
there's
double,
both of them.
double identity today.
Oh, I'm sorry that no one could see it. It's probably my own Wi-Fi. Our Wi-Fi's pretty horrible, so.
If you know you have a slow Wi-Fi connection, feel free to send it to me or tell me it's on Learning Suite and I'll download it and I'll see if I can broadcast it from my connection.
Mine, I did turn mine into Learning Suite yesterday, but it's a little
Fantastic.
late for that.
Yeah. So I think we can comment on the basics, right? What's happening in Rachel's?
I think it looks really good so far. I think you've done a lot of really cool things with like the style of the sporty. You could definitely tell that that's what it is. And I like how you used like moving backgrounds with the like fills coming in and leaving and stuff. I think you could take it a step further with playing with his rhythm a little more. Like I also might have been the lag. I don't know. Like because he does a lot of pausing and like changing tempos and stuff. I think if the words came on to match that, it'd be really cool.
Sweet.
I think there is a little bit of that in the copies I've seen on my local hard drive. It does work, but I think the timing, I think Melanie's point should be well taken in that there could be even more of that because actors, well, Melanie, you are an actor. You know, the cadence and the rhythm of your speech is everything. Like that's your brand as an actor. And I think if that's reflected even more in the type, then it will be even better, Rachel.
Okay.
Who else?
Something that I know, I mean, I wish I could have seen it better because it looked amazing what I saw. But one thing that I maybe wished there was, especially when he was like getting louder and amped up, there's like that part where it says shut them down. And maybe if like the type got bigger or like I somehow wish there was like a little bit more reflection of his like
intensity.
I don't know, like intent. Yeah, that in the type itself. But I really did think it was amazing.
That might be one of the places where you can deviate from your grid, Rachel, and those get really large and really emphatic.
Yeah, he's kind of screaming at that point, so I could make it a lot bigger. One thing that I saw in the beginning that I liked was when you use the same words, or when he repeated his words, you bolded the words over again so that it kind of went back to them. But then in other parts of the video, when you use the same words, you don't do that. And I felt like when you did that, it helped to reread the lines again and to continue to follow his voice. So I think if you did that with the other parts where you just keep the same words, then it would help the flow a little bit as well. Okay, that makes sense.
Good comment. There's definitely a power in typographic animation of reusing words and letting elements linger on screen and be repurposed. It's a pretty powerful technique. Okay, good. Anyone else have suggestions for Rachel? I don't remember who it was, but yeah, there's very much a patriotic sport, like it's very sporty feeling. The typography, I think you made a good choice with typeface here. So yeah, just some more emotional beats throughout, I think would help take it to the next level, Rachel.
Thank you.
All right, either put your hands together or put the virtual hands together. Look at that, a screen full of claps. All right, who's next?
I could go.
All right, Will.
With with the disclaimer that this is incredibly rough, and in many places you will just have to imagine the typography. But I do want to get a bit of critique.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, Zoom works on Windows too.
Yes, it does. Fortunately, or I'd be in real trouble.
Good.
No, it's this one. Okay, here we go.
Volume. There's some volume issues.
Sorry, what was that?
There's some volume issues.
I can't hear anything.
Is it too low?
It's too low. Ah, it's turned all the way up.
It is turned all the way up. Well, if
Maybe
that's not Brent, I did email it to you.
Oh.
If that would work better, because I have no idea what on earth would be. I've had this problem before with Zoom where it just doesn't pick up.
Okay. Let me try broadcasting. It might be your system audio, but I don't know. I don't know how to troubleshoot Zoom on Windows. So here it is. Okay, coming right up. Share.
What are you talking about? 7 times 13 is not 28.
Yes, it is.
7 times 4 is 28.
Mr. Chandler, 7 times 13 is 28.
Did you ever go to school, stupid?
Yes, sir. And I come out the same way.
We'll multiply this. Go ahead.
Multiply?
Put down 13.
Okay, 13.
That's right. And 7 salesmen, put that down.
7 salesmen.
Now, you claim that 7 times 13 amounts to what?
28.
Prove that.
7 times 3?
21.
7 times 1?
7.
7 and 1?
8.
And a 2.
28. Now, wait a minute. How do you figure, boy? You can't.
Good.
No, you can't do
That's
that.
right.
No, nothing of the kind. We'll add this up.
Adam?
Put down 13 7 times.
Okay.
You claim that all that added up amounts to what?
28.
If it does, you've got a job.
Thank you. 3.
Oh, no, wait a minute. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21.
22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28.
You're hired.
Love the audio. Love the
Yeah,
sketch.
like I said, there's a lot of spots where you just sort of imagine the typography, and these are really just kind of my like digital frames that I've stuck together. But any thoughts and critique anyone had would be appreciated.
I love the last couple of frames. They're so cool how you sequence the 3s and then the 1s and then the total. I thought that was awesome. Good job.
The graphic, the typeface choices and the colors are much better. Will, a lot more contemporary. I do think you should dial in the colors a little. I don't know about this. You've got sort of a reddish orange, and then you've got this fluorescent purple magenta. They're not working together yet, but typeface, the red, black, and the red orange, the black, and the white, and the typefaces, I think, are working quite nicely.
I also like the little pattern with the plus signs at the end, and just doing like small things like that in your video with the shapes but are still connected to the typography, I think is really nice.
I also really like how there's some dimension to it. Like it's not just like plain all the time, but you're like playing with it with things like folding and then coming back down. And I think that's like nice, especially because like the other things are like a little bit more like 2D. So I think that's like a nice addition to it.
Definitely.
I think the personality of the typeface works really well with the audio. And like it's fun to, even without too much like animation going on, it's fun to just connect the words with the typeface and the audio together. One thing, like, I'm not sure how much animation you have planned, Will, and like what kinds of things you're going to do with the letters and numbers and stuff. But I think if you like, whether it was word for word or even individually letter for letter, if you included little animations here and there, because there's a lot of like tones and inflection and emphasis in the voices. I think that would be a good way to kind of connect the type and the audio even more, and involve the kind of process of what's going on in the animation itself.
Good
comment.
And eventually, that's definitely the plan. I just sort of ran out of time.
Yeah, you've got such strong source material that, yeah, even if the typography takes on a fraction of the personality of Abbott and Costello, I think you'll be in a good place, Will.
Awesome. Thank you so much, everybody.
Okay. So yeah, we'll wait until further development occurs, and I can work with you throughout the rest of the semester, Will.
Sounds wonderful.
Okay. Who's up?
I can go next. My Wi-Fi is kind of slow, so you can do my video. It's on Learning Suite.
Okay.
Thanks.
By the way, I do have it on my to-do list to get grades up, although based on what just came out on Monday about pass and fail, I don't know if you're as concerned about grades anymore. I still have to turn in a letter grade, and then I think you have the choice whether to accept it or just go with pass or fail. There's Ryan's. Wow. It's taken its time, that's for sure. Let's see. This could take a while. The Learning Suite's been having issues. Does anyone else have a fast Wi-Fi connection and something they can show while we wait for Learning Suite?
I think I have an okay Wi-Fi connection, and I can go.
Okay.
I think.
Awesome. Fantastic. We'll go with Chandler and then Ryan.
Let me know if you can hear it.
I don't hear anything.
Did you say you can't hear it?
Yeah, you can't hear.
No, me either.
You checked computer audio.
I'm gonna do this one more time. Because remember
Make sure
last time? Yeah.
Make sure your system audio's up as well.
Okay, wait, how about now?
You do not have to be good. You do not have to walk on your knees for 100 miles through the desert repenting. You only have to let the soft animal of your body love what it loves. Tell me about despair, yours, and I will tell you mine. Meanwhile, the world goes on. Meanwhile, the sun and the clear pebbles of the rain are moving across the landscapes, over the prairies and the deep trees, the mountains and the rivers. Meanwhile, the wild geese, high in the clean blue air, are heading home again. Whoever you are, no matter how lonely, the world offers itself to your imagination, calls to you like the wild geese, harsh and exciting, over and over, announcing your place in the family of things.
That was so beautiful.
Can
Yeah,
you
that's
play
so
it?
good.
Can you play it one more time?
Oh yeah, let's do it at least one more time.
Okay.
You do not have to be good. You do not have to walk on your knees for 100 miles through the desert repenting. You only have to let the soft animal of your body love what it loves. Tell me about despair, yours, and I will tell you mine. Meanwhile, the world goes on. Meanwhile, the sun and the clear pebbles of the rain are moving across the landscapes, over the prairies and the deep trees, the mountains and the rivers. Meanwhile, the wild geese, high in the clean blue air, are heading home again. Whoever you are, no matter how lonely, the world offers itself to your imagination, calls to you like the wild geese, harsh and exciting, over and over announcing your place in the family of things.
That was so pretty. I loved the how everything was so soft and smooth, and it kind of reacted with the sounds. And then I really liked all your transitions, especially the ones where like talks about the geese and like just running in the, or I don't know, talking about nature. That was really cool.
Thanks.
The animations of pebbles and geese I thought were really intriguing, and they were fun to watch. Like especially the one with pebbles, like even once they'd fall in, the letters kind of tumbled over each other. You could tell that there was like attention given to more than just like the needed animation. So I thought the elements you were adding were really interesting to watch.
Thanks.
Will appreciate the methodologies used by Chandler in having the pebbles fall and bounce.
Yeah, I asked his advice on it because I couldn't figure it out. So we communicated.
Good.
I was gonna ask Chandler, how did you end up managing that?
Well, because like we talked about, the extension only worked for part of it, so I had to like manually do the bottom half of it falling and then the top half of it falling. I used the extension for it.
That's super impressive.
Thanks.
Yeah, it's great. The little pebbles, and like Alex mentioned, the geese. There's that little part with landscapes and mountains that needs a little something still, Chandler.
Okay.
Also, I really loved the I think it was body. It morphed into a different word, or it was morphing out of a different word. How did you do that? That was so cool.
I did it in Illustrator, so I took the two and I kind of like overlaid one on top of the other, and then I slowly just like morphed the letters into each other. Yeah.
Cool.
So it was more frame by frame. Yeah.
A lot of love went into that scene.
Yeah.
A lot of path manipulation. I appreciate the hand-drawn text. The texture that offers is quite nice. I kind of want to see it come in at the end.
Okay.
You know, maybe harsh is hand-drawn or something toward the end to just even it out a little bit, because it is quite nice. Is that your writing? Because it's pretty cool.
Yeah, that I just scanned in my handwriting.
Yeah, that's great.
Okay, yeah, I can do that for sure.
Little personalization. It's a very personal poem. So it's entirely appropriate.
Oh no.
Oh, Anna said she didn't see it. Maybe we can send it to Anna.
Okay. Well.
Okay. Any other? Yeah, a couple little details, but I think it is looking quite nice, Chandler. Let's put our hands together for Chandler. Snaps, claps. Let's see. All right, I'm going to show Ryan's from my computer. This project is called I Carry Your Heart. Maybe you don't want me to give the director's notes, Ryan. I'll just show it. How about that?
Okay, sounds good.
I carry your heart with me. I carry it in my heart. I am never without it. Anywhere I go, you go, my dear. And whatever is done by only me is your doing, my darling. I fear no fate, for you are my fate, my sweet. I want no world, for beautiful you are my world, my true. And it's you are whatever a moon has always meant, and whatever a sun will always sing is you. Here is the deepest secret nobody knows. Here is the root of the root, and the bud of the bud, and the sky of the sky of a tree called life, which grows higher than the soul can hope or mind can hide. And this is the wonder that's keeping the stars apart. I carry your heart. I carry it in my heart.
Read by E.E. Cummings, right, Ryan?
No.
Or someone else?
It's read by Tomo Bedlam, if you know him.
Good job. I really liked. I feel like what a lot of you guys are doing really well is kind of showing typography on two sides of the screen, I guess. Like kind of like even if it's the same person talking, it's like a dialogue between that person. I think that's really cool. All your shapes are cool too.
You got all that screen real estate to design in, right, Valerie?
What? Sorry, I didn't understand what you said.
There's a lot of screen real estate you can use in your 1920 by 1080. It doesn't have to be centered all the time.
Yes.
I think that's what, I think I'm agreeing with you.
Yes.
I like this part right here, where then it switches to be like bud of the bud or whatever.
Yeah.
Really well done.
It's really sweet. Tell us about the flickering edges and the visual approach you took, Ryan.
I used Dancing Dissolve.
What was your motivation for that, for using that?
I wanted it to have some texture. So like in the beginning when like that big black hole kind of appears and you disappear into that, I kind of like wanted to mimic that texture. And I don't know if I really succeeded in the way that I was planning on it. It looks even slower here on my computer. It looks like maybe a little smoother. But I like wanted it to feel like it had a little bit of a more organic or hand-drawn texture without actually being hand-drawn.
Mm-hmm. I think it looks the best when you're fading in. I would either, so that screen we just saw did not have it, but see these little words as they fade in, they have it. And that's a very
I don't know why, because the other one has it applied, it just didn't show up. like
really?
in my export.
So it's supposed to have it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Supposed to have it. Do you not like it?
No, I think it needs to be I would say only use it 3 to 5 times throughout, or use it all the time.
Okay. It should be there all the time, so I'll go back and look at why it's not doing that.
It does look like, it reminds me of like TV static, old tube TV static, and I was wondering if there was a reason you went with that.
Yeah.
If that's what you're trying to do, I should say.
I was trying to, but I'm not sure if it was like exactly what I was trying to like do. That was the same sentence.
So
I wanted it to
what?
feel like it was being like erased kind of, or like a pencil. But I think it just does feel more like TV static than like that.
Which might not be entirely inappropriate, a black and white TV static pattern for the era. When was he Cummings? Was he big in 50s?
Sure.
Do you know?
I don't
I know
know.
it's 1900s. I think it's about mid-century. So I would say overall, I think your body copy size could go down. This is a nice size right here. I think that could be like your workhorse size.
Okay.
This is nice as a sort of punctuated, you're drawing attention to the letter forms here.
Uh-huh.
I think this kind of stuff could be more that size.
Okay.
It is a very interesting serif you're using. It's just got enough detail that makes it contemporary and ownable. There is a way, if you want the letter forms to look organic, there is a way to sort of wiggle the edges without using sort of the pixelization that Dancing Dissolve gets you, in that you basically, well, there's a couple ways to do it. There is, with Turbulent Displace, you can make the edges of anything boil. You could do that. And if you have vector shapes or shape layers, you can actually add a wiggle. There's a wiggle path. Maybe that can be one of our demos.
Okay.
But that makes it look like it's sort of hand drawn, frame by
Yeah.
frame, if that's what you really want.
Good to try.
Very nice words, though.
Something else you might try. I don't know if this is what you're going for, but one of the effects that I've done before is roughen edges. And you can add fractal influence, so you can get all kinds of like variations of texture with that one.
Okay, cool. I'll have to look into those.
Rough edges. Yeah, you
Yeah, it's
chose
called
good
roughen
words. Roughen edges. And it animates, Alex. It doesn't just roughen it once, but it does it like every frame.
I think you can do it where it's just static, but you can also animate it. Like when I was doing the animations in my 9 squares that were like After Effects liquidy effects, like combining drops of water and things like that. I use that one. You can make it more smooth, or you can, I mean, it's called roughen edges, but you can actually make the edges more like smooth and bubbly, or you can make them more sharp and kind of warped, I guess. There's all kinds of things you can do, and you can make it look more like smoky or dusty. There's lots of stuff.
Cool.
But yeah, you can either do static or animated.
Awesome. Thank you, Alex.
Okay, who else has comments? I'm realizing that we're taking too long. There's no way we're gonna finish, because I want to hear what you're doing for your essays as well.
I like the
Okay.
typography. Sorry to interrupt. I just think it fit the guy's voice really well. I think you chose a good typeface.
Agreed.
It's a good voice, and E.E. Cummings is always a strong choice.
Thanks, guys.
Okay, Ryan, thank you. We'll put our hands together. Feel free to use the icon or clap. It's up to you. All right, who's next?
I can go, Brent.
Okay, I'm gonna turn on my timer so we can, I want at least an hour at the end so we can go through your topics for final projects. Oh, does anybody need to take a break? Do we need to take 3 minutes? Feel free to signal yes or say yes.
I'm okay with no breaks. I don't know about you guys.
You guys think we could make it another hour?
I would love a break.
Okay, let's take a couple minutes. Let's take 2 to 3 minutes and we'll all come back and do the rest of the videos.
Okay, thank you, Brent.
You're welcome. Allie, is what you just emailed me your very latest?
So my connection's not very good. Do you think you could download mine from Learning Suite?
Yes.
Okay, that'd be awesome.
Oh yeah, I already downloaded it, Jamie.
Perfect.
Okay, is everyone back? It's hard to tell when we're remote, so let's just start. Let's see, did we have someone lined up already? Allie, were you gonna go?
I was gonna go. Allie can go before if she wants.
Alex was gonna go. Alex and then Alyssa, Allie.
Sure.
Okay. Let's see.
Make sure to check audio.
Oh, I know. Oh, what'd you get? 1 second. You are who. Can you hear that?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Let's start it over. You are who you've been looking for. So stop looking for more unless you're looking in a mirror, because it's about time for you to see clearly that you are who you've been looking for. And that empty feeling you got, that hole in your chest, you only got that feeling because you think you're not blessed with everything you need. You see, we live in a consumerist society, which means they need you to buy stuff. And the easiest way to sell it is to tell you you're not enough. Buy this car, you'll get girls. Buy this bra, you'll get guys. And we're seeing it so much that we start believing these lies. But the truth is, the makeup they're selling to make you feel prettier is the same makeup you buy to stop feeling shittier about this lie they keep telling you that you are not enough. And what about the movies we watch, all the shows on TV? The more I watch, the more I see I need you to complete me. And yes, love is the answer, love is the key, but that's as far as I've gotten animating. You want me to show the rest of the audio or just leave it at that?
Can you play it again?
Uh,
Do we have time for him to play it again?
Yeah, let's just play that first minute again, Alex.
Okay, cool. You are who you've been looking for. So stop looking for more unless you're looking in a mirror, because it's about time for you to see clearly that you are who you've been looking for. And that empty feeling you got, that hole in your chest, you only got that feeling because you think you're not blessed with everything you need. You see, we live in a consumerist society, which means they need you to buy stuff. And the easiest way to sell it is to tell you you're not enough. Buy this car, you'll get girls. Buy this bra, you'll get guys. And we're seeing it so much that we start believing these lies. But the truth is, the makeup they're selling to make you feel prettier is the same makeup you buy to stop feeling shittier about this lie they keep telling you that you are not enough. And what about the movies we watch, all the shows on TV? The more I watch, the more I see I need you to complete me.
You complete me.
What's the audio from?
It's from a YouTube video. The artist is named Adam Roa. I don't know what you would call him, but it's just a poem that he wrote, and he basically just performs it. But yeah, it's kind of like an inspirational poem / speech / rap. I don't know what you call it.
Super cool.
Very hip-hoppy overtones, or rappy overtones. Was that from a slam poetry competition or something, Alex? Or did you just...
No, I think it's actually just from some type of presentation that wasn't even from him. He was just being featured. That was the best audio I could come up with. He actually has kind of like this, it's kind of cheesy, but it's like a music video for it. And it's like got a bunch of different like people that are like mouthing along with him as he like does it. And they have like, I don't know, like inspirational scenes and stuff. It's kind of weird, but I didn't like the low beat and music that went along with it. I like just the raw voice.
Yeah.
And so I muted the audience a little bit, not muted, but took the volume down from like the clapping and
yeah, it was really heavy before. It was really loud. So it's much
I don't
better
mind
now.
it in the background though. It kind of adds to the feel of the performance.
Yeah, it's good to know that it is a live performance. So I do think it's looking better with the all caps. Alex had a lot of upper and lower case in this before, and I think it helps. Since you are doing so many things visually, it helps to unify it a little bit. And I do think the all caps in this typeface looks better than the lower case.
Yeah, I still need to fix it like right here. I'm gonna have to go back and like this part right here. This is actually gonna be a little bit of work because I'll have to start from scratch from this scene because I morphed I changed the letters and shapes outlines to morph them into the squares. So I'll have to redo some of that, but from this point on, I'm basically just working with all caps. So
yeah, okay, good. Yeah, we are out of time, but let's take, if anybody has comments that would help Alex as he refines and improves this, now's your chance.
I think it's super cool, but like, I guess when you change the beginning to be all caps, this will help, but some parts of it seem really dainty while other parts seem kind of like they're slamming in. But I think the making it all caps will make it feel a little bit more consistent.
Yeah, I think the weight you're using at the very beginning, Alex, could be the next weight up. It is a little bit too hairline. You've got thin elsewhere in the piece, but I think the very beginning is super, super thin. And even if it is all caps, it might still be too thin.
Okay.
Good suggestion, Rachel. Who else? We got 15 seconds.
It was cool.
I agree.
One more comment, which I don't know if this is true. I was trying to pay attention, but I only noticed the blue type when we're doing sort of the Star Wars movie thing. So maybe if you're going to use the kind of tealish blue, just use it in more places.
Okay. Yeah, I used that kind of just to get an idea down. I wasn't sure if I want to keep it, but repeating it elsewhere is a good idea. I might do that.
I would either sprinkle it throughout, or I would just make the scrolling Star Wars text in the yellow. Like, if it's a yellow close to what you're already using in your palette, use that. But if not, you know how the scroll is actually, isn't it yellow text?
Yeah.
Just to make it, it's a pretty quick read already because the scrolling text is so iconically Star Wars. But that's a good comment about the individual splash of blue sticking out a little bit. Okay, nice work, Alex. Yeah, I think a little refinement and some typographic all capsizing and making things consistent will take it to the next level.
Cool.
Thank you. Okay, Allie, am I playing yours?
Sorry, I just realized I muted myself and I was talking to you. But yeah, the very first part I'm changing, so that's why it's like static in the very beginning. But
okay.
Yeah, there's a couple glitches that I still need to fix, but you can just watch it and then
And then we'll watch it again.
This is Gettysburg. This is where they fought the Battle of Gettysburg. 50,000 men died right here on this field, fighting the same fight that we're still fighting amongst ourselves today. This green field right here, painted red, bubbling with the blood of young boys, smoke and hot lead pouring right through their bodies. Listen to their souls, man. I killed my brother with malice in my heart, hatred, destroyed my family. You listen. You take a lesson from the dead. If we don't come together right now on this hollow ground, we too will be destroyed.
All right, let's do that one more time. Which part did you say was paused, Allie?
So the very beginning, it's not supposed to start with that word right there. I'm gonna have it come on. It's just, I wanted it to have a more organic feel, because in the beginning, it doesn't have as much of an organic feel as towards the end. So I'm just like editing a couple things in the beginning, and this thing I was in the middle of editing and didn't finish. So that's why it just says Gettysburg right away and doesn't come on.
Gotcha.
There's a couple other audio glitches too that I just need to fix on After Effects, I think. So
Was that just you cutting out dead space or something, just audio edits?
yeah, I don't know. I mean, I thought that everything worked, but then when I uploaded it and everything, there's like parts that weren't working. So I don't know if I don't know what happened. I just had to fix some of the just glitchy things. But
Okay.
I don't know.
Well, there are some really nice moments in here, Allie. I mean, the hand drawn, you can't beat that, especially for a message like this. The messages of smoke and blood, you know, it could have gotten really gory or really cheesy. But I think you've done a great job with some of these concepts, some of these words in here. So nice work.
Thanks.
There's a few alignment issues like brother here and family later on.
Right.
There's some. I mean, it's kind of cool how it looks like it's hand set wood type right here.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
if you're gonna do that, I would do it in more places.
A little bit actually, more, yeah.
Yeah, you're doing it here too, right? Destroyed in family.
Yeah.
So that's nice. That's a nice approach for this. It looks, you have a little bit of whatever you want to call this.
Yeah, I noticed that.
That's just a little thing though. This is one of my favorite parts right here. These letters coming together, really sweet. I think I mentioned this to you on our call, but all the
Trying
edges.
to slow it down a little bit.
Yeah, slow it, and you know, you don't want there to be too much of a contrast between, you know, these letters are very crisp,
right,
and vectory, and then some of yours are very rough and hand drawn. So see if you can make that consistent.
I'm gonna try to add some texture or some either displacement, turbulent displacement, or whatever it's called, or something, so that the letters kind of all have a little bit of a more organic feel to it to fix that.
Great. Who else would like to make a comment? There are some comments in the chat, Allie. I don't know if you've seen those popping up.
Yeah. Thank you.
Maddie Quilter said that was sick.
Not Maddie, it's Taylor. I'm sorry.
JK Taylor.
Yeah.
Hattie's here. Hi, Hattie.
Hi.
Anyone else have suggestions? We have 20 seconds left.
I really liked it. I feel like there were a few places where you could go a little further, where it was just like stand still text, but I'm sure that you're probably still working on it, as are most of us.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember like certain spots. Maybe the part with the blood, like he was talking about, you don't want to make it cheesy, but I kind of wanted to see like a drip or something that had to do with blood. I don't know how you can do that without it being like not as good. Because I liked what you did, but I was like, okay, it's like disappearing, and I want to see like liquid. I don't know. Up to you.
You wanted more blood.
I did. I wanted gore.
Yeah, just after you're done sort of making everything have that handmade analog feel, Allie, I would double check all your alignments
Yeah.
and all those small details.
Yeah.
Cool.
Sweet.
Okay, we need to move on, but nice job.
Thank you.
All right, who's next? Was anybody else already lined up?
I can go. Can you play it from your computer or?
Sure.
Okay.
Yes, I have yours. You
So
emailed
mine,
it.
yeah. So mine isn't really, you'll have to imagine some movement with type and illustrations. It's still in the works, but
Hopefully more type than illustration, right?
yes.
Illustrating with type.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Okay, of course you did. All right, let's do this.
So music is emotive, right? It draws you in, and it can change the way you experience something. So it's like why when you watch a movie, it can make you cry, right? But if you saw that same movie without the music, it wouldn't have the same effect. I mean, there's something emotive about music that pulls us in, that kind of preys on our emotions. And I don't know why. Do you know why?
Well, just think of it the other way. Can you imagine a movie without music? It's the music that generates the emotions, that releases the human experience. And it does it, of course, through the way that music works, which is, it doesn't go through the brain, it goes through the molecules. Shifts the molecules. It gives you whatever feeling. And of course, the great composers of film music know how to do that, to turn it on as if they're turning a tap or dials on a machine.
Okay, let's do it once more with a little bit less audio, and we can.
So music is
comment.
emotive, right? It draws you in, and it can change the way you experience something. So it's like why when you watch a movie, it can make you cry, right? But if you
What do you
saw
guys
that
think about
same-
the typeface choice? This very graceful, bold serif italic.
I like it. I think it fits.
I love the bold, italic, beautiful. It looks very music. I wish there was a little more contrast between that and the other typeface, like either with weight or maybe even picking a different typeface and playing with size a little bit more too. It just seems like it's like a little too close to complement as well as I think it could.
Yes, I agree. I think Valerie, scale would help. Like I think your sans serif could be about 50% as big, and that will probably do it. And maybe if there's a little bit lighter weight and take it down like 50%, that will serve that contrast that Melanie's talking about.
So a lighter weighted serif?
A little bit lighter, but mostly just the scale of it. And I would say overall, the scale, like all of your bold italic, that should be like the largest size. That should be, huge shouting. And so I would work with more of the real estate on your screen and just take everything down. So there will be more contrast when, emotions change or you need to punctuate something. You've got a lot of really nice elements. These dots, you know, Valerie pointed out that these dots that look like notes are they're actually the dot from the I, right? On the lowercase I.
From the serif.
But they also are perfect little notes. So there's so much, and I know you said this was sort of in the animatic phase still. So I look forward to seeing those dance around, especially the molecules part, which is one of the most compelling pieces of text in this piece.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about the super simple color palette?
I liked it simple. I think I needed more contrast, so I don't know if you're going to do that with the typeface or I don't know, I just needed a little bit more of a difference.
Okay.
Yeah, I think scale will help that. I think one additional color will free some things up for you and allow you to lead the viewer's eye more directly.
Yeah.
But you don't need, you know, more than 3. Your white, your reddish orange, and one other. Whether that's like a dark gray or whatever you choose to put in, I think it would help.
Yeah, it's a little too flat, right?
Yeah, it's like Taylor said, it will help the contrast. The scaling of your type and then adding just one more tone, I think will help.
Okay.
But it's a great start. It's a strong start. And then, yeah, I would just go through with an eye for relationships and scale and contrast.
Sounds
Okay,
good.
we got 5 seconds. Anybody else have anything they want to say to Valerie? Good choice on your text, Valerie. You made your job easier by choosing a super interesting piece.
Thank you.
Thank you. Is next. Melanie, any luck with Media Encoder?
It is like trying to export right now. So if someone else is ready, they can go before me and then I'll go next.
Okay.
Oh, I can go.
Maddie.
Yes. Also, I
please.
put it on Learning Suite. I don't know if my internet is very great.
Okay. Oh, like recently you put it on Learning Suite?
Yeah.
Okay, let me see if I can grab it. Learning Suite is limping along. Okay, here we go. Anybody have any good jokes, discussion topics while we wait for Learning Suite to open Maddie's piece? Interesting or positive coronavirus news stories you'd like to share?
Mitt Romney tested negative. I don't know if you guys like him or not, but I like him. So that's good news for me.
I do. I like the Mitt, and I'm glad that he tested negative. Okay, it's finally downloading. Downloaded.
Also, it's not done yet, so there's more to come.
More to come. Oh yeah, we got 30. This is a 38-second trailer, is what Maddie's saying.
Yes.
Could machines ever think as human beings do?
Most people say not.
You're not most people.
Well, the problem is you're asking a stupid question.
I am?
Of course, machines can't think as people do. A machine is different from a person, since they think differently. The interesting question is, just because...
Yay! Great trailer.
Thank you.
In a world where typography came to life. Okay, we're gonna watch it one more time.
Could machines ever think as human beings do?
Most people say not.
You're not most people.
Well, the problem is you're asking a stupid question.
I am?
Of course, machines can't think as people do. A machine is different from a person, since they think differently. The interesting question is, just because...
Okay, do you want to, so I think I know what's gonna happen on some of these scenes, Maddie, but do you wanna talk about what's meant to go on, like, here?
Yeah, so this is one where he's talking about how machines can't think as people do. And so when it's finished, there will be all the letters of the line, think as people do, like getting stuck in that machine, kind of like something getting like stuck in a machine gear. And so there's going to be a lot more letters getting stuck there.
Yeah, there's a long snake of letters.
Yeah, there's only 2 right now, and
This is a really awesome transition right here. And there's going to be more of these. The right side's going to be moving around more, right?
yeah, I definitely want to move those letters around. That was just a sneak peek.
Oh, teaser trailer.
Exactly.
Can we give Maddie any help on her 2/3 finished type piece?
Are you gonna use those colors? Sorry. Are you gonna use those colors again throughout?
Yeah. There's another part, like a scene or 2 later. So yeah, I'll be using those colors again. It's mostly just to like, the colors are for the parts that talk about humans. So it's kind of like that contrast between humans and machines.
Right. So maybe some of these are some of these. Oh, they are. Look at that. There's a blue T.
Yeah, those will all be colored, those letters.
Cool. Yeah, that'll help sort of drive that point home, the contrast between machines and humans. Yeah, I think you've got some really elegant ideas here, Maddie, and I can't wait to see the full feature.
Yes, just building up the anticipation.
Yeah, you're doing a good job ramping up the suspense. Okay, we have another minute for you to comment on the scenes that are here. Or Maddie can give the time to the next person.
I think what you're doing so far is really beautiful and really successful. This might be part of what you're changing. I'm a little confused, but I think it's a little jolting to have the side. Oh, there's export.
Hey, a happy sound.
The side by side of the black and white, because you've had this really clean, beautiful black and white the whole time. and then it's like all of a sudden white and colorful. So I don't know if there's a way to like incorporate those better so it's not as different, jolting.
Yeah, and make it a bit more subtle, that transition.
I think it's too much contrast, Melanie.
Yeah, it's like all of a sudden this really cutesy color scheme on the white with that typeface too, next to this nice like chic like film type of vibe.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe you've got a lot of visual cues here indicating human. You've got the white background, you've got the differing typefaces, weights, and then you also have colors on top of that. Maybe what you could do is, instead of white, because I don't know if, well, maybe you are saying that humans are the opposite of machines, but that's kind of what this screen says, like they're polar opposites. But maybe instead of stark white, this becomes maybe more of a, is it an off-white, or is it a gray, a warm gray or something? And maybe there's fewer colors here. I think Melanie's point is well taken. I also think the color is a nice relief, but maybe make it 10, 15% more subtle, I think is a good suggestion.
Yeah, no, that's a really good point. I'll play around with the color with that.
Fantastic. Okay, the timer went off. Thank you, Maddie.
Thanks, guys.
Finished piece. Who's ready? Are you ready, Melanie?
It is still just struggling. I think it's because
it's still struggling. There you go in the chat.
Program.
So
I can try to
media
go.
encoder? Okay, Taylor, gonna be daring and go for it.
You'll have to like let me know right away if the sound works, if that's okay.
Make sure to check computer audio checkbox.
I'll do that from QuickTime.
That is when you
in
hit
Zoom.
share screen. Yeah, in Zoom.
Okay, share screen. Share computer sound. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, and there's another checkbox right next to it that I think optimizes for video.
Okay, sure. Can you see it?
We can.
Okay, so tell me if the sound works. Oh, also, just disclaimer, it's like probably halfway done. So like everything's in, but it's not done. But
Yours is a trailer too?
Yeah, it's like it's full, like done, as in everything's put into After Effects, but it's not all animated. So it's like a half trailer, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, let me know if you can hear it. Can you guys hear it?
No, no audio.
Maybe if I take out my headphones. Let's try this.
If we show emotion.
Could you guys hear that?
Yep.
Okay, let me turn it down a little bit. That's really loud. You're probably gonna hear some background noise because I'm in the Smithfield house and there's playing country music.
That's appropriate for your piece.
Okay.
Not the country, the Smithfield house.
Here we go.
If we show emotion, we're called dramatic. If we want to play against men, we're nice. And if we dream of equal opportunity, delusional. When we stand for something, we're unhinged. When we're too good, there's something wrong with us. And if we get angry, we're hysterical, irrational, or just being crazy. But a woman running a marathon is crazy. A woman boxing is crazy. A woman dunking, crazy. Coaching an NBA team, crazy. A woman competing in a hit job, changing her sport, landing a double cork 1080, or winning 23 Grand Slams, having a baby, and then coming back for more. Crazy, 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 and crazy. So if they want to call you crazy, fine. Show them what crazy can do.
That's it.
Great teaser, Taylor.
Some of the stuff didn't show up. I'm sad, but it's okay. I'll go back and fix that.
So it looks like there's a few changes since I saw it last, or is it the same thing I looked at?
I'm trying to remember what I did.
Okay. So I think there are moments of this. I think you could be inspired by that Apple piece we saw.
Yeah.
We watched at the beginning of class, because this is a very impactful, you've got a lot of impactful sport aesthetic here. So yeah, why don't you just tell us what you're still planning on doing?
So there's a lot of background noise in the video, like Serena Williams is slamming her tennis racket, or another tennis player is like slamming her tennis racket because she's angry, and I want to do something with the text that like goes along with that. And then there's like screaming and whistles and basketballs being dribbled, and so I'm just gonna go through and kind of like make sure, like listen to it over and over again, and then decide like which ones I want to use or not use. But there's a few cool ones that I think that I could use, like the tennis racket. It's like on the part where the crazy smiley face, and I think that I could like do something with the one letters, each letter, sorry, one letters. But I want to do more with that, and then I definitely want it to be more like you were saying, like the Apple commercial, where it's just like really short and concise and cutting and all that stuff. So that's my plan right now, at least. But I'm open to any suggestions, obviously, because I need it.
All right, let's hear it, folks.
Well, one thing that I was thinking is that I like the idea of having the big text and the main text that you currently have being like interacted with, like the tennis rackets, but I think there are parts where you're including the background noise when there's like small spoken bits and you're typing that out, and I wonder if that's like a bit distracting from your main message, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that does. I was like trying to decide if I should include that or if I should just do what they're saying in that, like in the small text, like when they're saying they try to pull her off the course when she runs a marathon, just keep the running the marathon and like pull the letters or do something like that. Would you think that would be better?
Yeah, like I like that idea, because I feel like that's what you were kind of saying with, the rackets and kind of implementing that type of thing. I think that would totally work. I just wonder when you actually include the words, if it kind of distracts from your main words. So yeah,
it like takes away from it. Yeah, I agree.
I think that would be great.
Thank you, Chandler. There's a lot of little alignment issues that after you get everything blocked out and animated, Taylor, I would go through and check all of your alignments and spacing. Because you've got a lot of interesting vertical, like, can you rewind to the beginning? What's the very first vertical?
So 7 if right there, but that. Are you talking about this one or keep going?
Yeah, keep going forward. There's a nice moment where you replaced an A with a 4 or something, and it's on the left-hand side of the screen.
Stand for something.
Yeah. I guess it's not. Yeah, there's a little bit of spacing issue there, but the idea is great, and just the execution needs to be perfected with spacing. Okay, any other constructive criticism and compliments we can give to Taylor?
I think your typeface is a really nice nod to Nikes without being Nikes.
Thank you.
Without ripping it off.
Brent's suggestion. So thank you, Brent.
You're welcome. Okay, Taylor, look forward to seeing the final polished piece.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Okay, Anna, I have yours.
Cool. I just did this all last night, so hopefully I can finish it today.
Yeah, I think there's enough in here that we can give you some critique. So let's watch it.
Undocumented.
What does it mean to be undocumented? First, we must define what it means to be documented. What are the faces we see working on that 9 to 5 so the city could function? Who picked the veggies that are on your dinner plate? Mr. and Mrs. Vegan, check your resources, your surroundings. I am documented in every one of them. I just want to let you know that I am not freeloading of your fucking government, because as far as I'm concerned, if I'm going to school and I've never gone to bed without a meal in my stomach and I keep a roof over my head, that's because I've earned it all by myself. Piel canela, ojos negros, nopalotes en la frente. You call me indocumentada, but joke's on you. So maybe if you took a look beyond what's in front of your eyes, you'd understand that there's no such thing as being undocumented. That borders only exist because we create them.
More to come. No.
Yes, there's more to come. I just
Okay.
stopped there.
Okay. How much more is there? Did you say it was 90 seconds?
1 minute and 30 seconds.
Oh, yep. Okay. So there are a lot of nice typographic moments in here. Let's talk about them. Let's talk about what's working and what could be improved. I'm going to play it back without the sound for now, Anna, if that's okay, so we can talk over the parts. Let's talk about what's working.
I really like the contrast of type sizing. So like you have these really big giant zoom in moments, and then you have the little guys too, and like the big text blocks or just by themselves. And I just think it works really well, like keeping me engaged and making sure that your message is coming across.
Mm-hmm. Good comment. Yeah, there's a lot of nice contrast here. This is a nice screen as well. Improvements that could be made. Let's see, where's my list of people so I can pick on you individually? Juju, are you back?
Yes, I'm back.
What do you think? What are some words you could say about Anna's piece?
Okay, I really like it. One of my favorite parts is, I think it's coming right now. I think it's this part. But yeah, because there's a part where it's like this part. I love this part because like it's a little bit like Jerry, but I think it's perfect in the way that like it conveys the message, and like it's strong, but like you're also able to see what's going on as well. I think it's like those are like very like strong parts of the animation. I really like when there's like with the I feel like when you have these like dark, these like black background, those are like some of my favorite parts because I feel like I really like how when you have the white as well, but I feel like when you have the black, like that contrast, it just like pulls you in. And like I think you do a really good job at like going closer and like focusing on the type and then going back. I don't know. I really, really like that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
What about Jamie? I haven't heard a lot from Jamie and Hattie.
I really liked a lot of the like transitions and stuff, and just how like let's try and think of an example, like how the text sometimes interacted with each other. I think my favorite part, what was the word? It was like feed your stomach or something, where like smaller text is going through the larger text and it just looks like super smooth. So I don't know,
I really liked that and would like to see some more like movement like that. That's just like really smooth. But I think overall it's looking super good.
Thank you. There are 35 seconds left. I love the stomach type.
Yeah, I also think the stomach is very cool.
I think you did a really good job. I love how all your frames are very bold because this is such a bold thing to talk about. So I think it mirrors that really well. And I just love how you just did black and white. I feel like you can have so many colors, but in the end, I think black and white probably or is the best. They're the best colors that you could choose for this. I don't know. I really love it. It's really cool.
It's kind of, it seems like, Valerie, that's a good comment because it seems like it is purposefully stripping out all the color. Because if you think about immigrants and immigration, it's, you think of color, right? If you were to spell out the word immigration, each letter would be a different color and a different hue. But the fact that this stark message is in black and white, it seems like a purposeful decision.
Yeah, I agree. That's why I didn't want to use any color apart from colors stressing me out because I'm not good at choosing colors. But also because I feel like since it's a more serious subject, it would be better. Yeah, if I didn't just animate this yesterday, I probably could have done more. But I'm very tired. I worked all day yesterday.
I'm glad. I'm glad you did.
Yes, I can't
You
wait.
can, if you have time in the next month to make refinements, then I think it will come out. It'll be a very nice piece.
Sweet.
Okay, our alarm went off. Thank you, Anna.
Thanks.
Jamie, are you ready?
Yeah.
Let's see. And you wanted me to play yours?
Yeah, if you
Or
could
can
play that, that'd be awesome.
Okay. Okay.
Something there is that doesn't love a wall, that sends the frozen groundswell under it, and spills the upper boulders in the sun, and makes gaps even two can pass abreast. The work of hunters is another thing. I have come after them and made repair where they have left not one stone on a stone, but they would have the rabbit out of hiding to please the yelping dogs. The gaps I mean, no one has seen them made or heard them made, but at spring mending time we find them there. I let my neighbor know beyond the hill, and on a day we meet to walk the line and set the wall between us once again. We keep the wall between us as we go, to each the boulders that have fallen to each.
I've tried shutting everything else down.
Is this?
So there will be a little bit more added to that. The whole
Okay.
audio is like 1.5 minutes long.
Okay.
Yeah, the rest is just storyboards though, so I didn't include it because it's not animated yet.
All right. I like what you've done with the texturing. It looks like film, Jamie. Isn't that what you were going for?
Yeah, that was.
It looks, yeah. I mean, some of these screens look like they could have been made in 1961 or 1957. Now, yours is actually read by the author, right?
Yeah, it is. That's Robert Frost.
Okay. That's Robert Frost. Okay, I was getting Ryan's confused with yours, I think. Okay, so I'm glad you stuck with the Clarendon. I think it.
See what's going on with this.
Hey, Melanie.
Oh,
Melanie, do
you can hear me talking.
Yes.
Sorry.
No worries. I can tell you're trying to get your movie working. Okay. Let's
Something
talk about
there
just
is that doesn't.
Typography. the type choices in here. I know Jamie spent a lot of time deciding. Talk about the choice. First of all, who can identify them? Who's a type nerd?
Is that
Well, I think you said Clarendon, right?
Clarendon. And what's the other one?
Futura?
Yes. What time period do those two typefaces make you think of? This is a nice, really nice part, Jamie, that the way you revealed that word.
Thanks.
I think like 40s, kind of mid-century.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. It's got so much personality. It's still, I mean, if you think about Futura and Clarendon, they are still used in a contemporary context, but yeah, it's just really interesting to look at those two. So I think those were a good pair.
I think the word two going through the walls is very interesting and cool to look.
Mm-hmm. The eyeball in the word scene is very mid-century if you think about, the era of Saul Bass and CBS. Or, yeah.
I really like how smooth it all looks. Like, just like every single part of the animation, I feel like it all looks really like smooth.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks.
Is this 30 frames a second?
Yeah, it is. I think it might just be the Wi-Fi. At least for my screen, it looks kind of choppy.
On my screen, it looks like 30, so I think you did that right. You could even bump it down to 24 if you wanted it to give it a little bit, even more sort of mid-century feel.
Yeah, I thought about doing that. I think I might, because I kind of like it with the poor Wi-Fi, how it looks. So.
Yeah. What was I going to say about something about this scene? What if this scene, instead of, let's see, so they're sort of like blowing in the wind like dust, but then they sort of stop and all of a sudden they're guided. I wonder if instead of having them float in, could you just use, like turn off tweening and just sort of hold keyframe those things so they blink in place? It's the same movement you're doing now essentially, but just sort of there's a blinking, I don't know, there's something jarring about. It's kind of like they're dust particles, but then they all of a sudden become autonomous. It's jarring there.
Yeah. So the idea was like the hunters are messing it up and then he repairs them.
Okay.
And then he talks more about how they're falling apart. So I want to keep that meaning.
So maybe they just appear in disarray on screen. Yeah, I'm afraid the movement sort of cheapens what you're trying to do.
Yeah. Because also to come after them, I wanted just to make like look like the words are chasing the hunters.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I see.
So I don't know if you know of a better way to do that. Keep some of the meaning, but
well, I think so. If you have the words come in like this, not organized, and you just reveal them from left to right, I think you can get that movement of left to right and the chasing.
Instead of having them go up and down.
Yeah. Also, I think the work of hunters is another thing. I would split those up more individually and independently rather than having the entire block move out at once.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Okay, anybody else have comments for Jamie? We are out of time. This is one of my favorite parts right here. That's a great usage of text on a path. And I don't say that very often.
Thanks.
Okay, can't wait to see the rest, Jamie.
Thanks.
I'm teaching class right now.
Well, I knew that's it.
Okay, sorry, I had some small visitors. Okay, Melanie, how's it going? Oh, I'm gonna check the chat.
I can try to play it through After Effects, but if it's lagging really bad, I don't know if it'll even be worth it.
So no luck getting it to compress.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have to buy more RAM today or something because
Okay.
it's freaking out. But I can try
Alright.
sharing the After Effects screen.
Let's try. If it maybe you have to bump down your RAM preview resolution to half, and I'm gonna turn off my video again.
Okay, can you see that?
Yes.
During the game, they showed a shot of George and me laughing together, and so people were upset. They thought, why is a gay Hollywood liberal sitting next to a conservative Republican president? Didn't even notice I'm holding the brand new iPhone 11. And but a lot of people were mad, and they did what people do when they're mad. They tweet, and but here's one tweet that I loved. This person says, Ellen and George Bush together makes me have faith in America again. And exactly. Here's the thing. I'm friends with George Bush. In fact, I'm friends with a lot of people who don't share the same beliefs that I have. We're all different, and I think that we've forgotten that that's okay, that we're all different. For instance, I wish people wouldn't wear fur. I don't like it, but I'm friends with people who wear fur. And I'm friends with people who are furry, as a matter of fact. I have friends who should tweeze more. And I have, but just because I don't agree with someone on everything doesn't mean that I'm not going to be friends with them. When I say be kind to one another, I don't mean only to people that think the same way that you do. I mean be kind to everyone. Doesn't matter.
Okay.
I could see it.
Not terrible.
Lower frame rate than you probably intended, but
Yeah, there's obviously holes in it too that I'm still working on, but
oh no, you stopped sharing too soon.
Oh.
You might need to go look at particular scenes.
Okay.
There's a scene at the end where you have, it's where you have a big column on the left, and then yeah, them travels over. I really like the idea behind that. It's a bit, it looks a bit undesigned on the left hand side. If you could have those words come in a
Yeah,
more
I'm
interesting
trying
way.
to figure out how I want them to come in.
Okay. So more to come there.
Yes.
You and I have talked about this a lot. What do your classmates think?
That's true.
The flag looks good. Your flag scene looks like it. Is that
I wish
closer to
the
where you
waves
wanted it?
were bigger.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
That's the biggest I can get out.
I think the whole thing's very cool. I really love the audio that you picked. And I like the part where you turn the words into the frowny face.
Good. Who else? Got another minute or so.
I like the tweets popping up.
Yeah, the tweets. Tweets are primarily typographic, as it turns out.
Mm-hmm.
Is everybody still here? I'm worried when everyone's on mute video and mute audio. I can't see what's happening.
We're here.
Good. Hi.
Hi.
Yeah, how long did it take you to do all those those hand done tweets, Mel. I really like that part too. I thought it really gave it like a still typographic but like really artistic element.
Well, I Googled actual tweets that people did and then made their names funny.
Amazing. I love it.
Yeah, that's a really successful screen. Simplified color palette, I think it's working really well. And the fact that you don't have a stark white background, I think, is working.
I don't know. How many colors are you using? I feel like I saw several different colors, or maybe it was just me.
It's just red and blue and black, and then the very last frame is purple.
On purpose.
Yes.
Okay.
In political circles, although that's not really the purple that we usually see in political circles. It's more like, this is more like a fluorescent violet. Remind me why I know you intended this bright purple. What was your thinking, Melanie?
Well, I was going off, these are really bright red and blues too, so I wanted it to be bright, and I don't know, I just like the bright better, and I think it makes a bit stronger of a statement.
Because it does seem like it doesn't belong. I know you want to go bright, but it doesn't, to me, it doesn't connect to your red and blue as much as it could. I think
it's a little too pink right now. I've been playing with the hue a little bit.
Yeah, I would, maybe you even drive the point home more and you have two doesn't matters and they come together to make purple. I don't know if that's too on the nose, but I would at least change that tint a little bit.
Okay, cool.
Okay, our timer has gone off. Anybody else don't want to cut anyone off? Okay, I will look forward to seeing all the final changes, Melanie. Nice work. Okay, who else still needs to go? I think I have everybody that I have locally here has gone. So if that's it, let's take another 2-minute break and we'll come back and I want to hear what you're doing for your final projects. Does that sound good?
Sounds good.
Okay, see you in 2 minutes. Okay, for this last part of the class, as many of you can get on video, let's do that. So it feels more like a discussion. There we go. Okay, I want to hear what you have in mind. I want you to tell us whether you're doing a PSA or whether you're doing a TV show promo. And if you're still undecided, let us know what your plan B and plan C are. And we'll have to stay on time here. Let's see, there are 14 of us. Okay, 2 to 3 minutes a person. So I'm hoping that you have, maybe you can share your screen if you have text or script or any reference, or if you just have words, go ahead and just speak. That'll work too. If you have a website, maybe, if people haven't heard of the nonprofit you want to do a PSA for, you could show us that.
I can show mine.
Okay.
I still don't know what part of it I'm gonna do, but it's about germs. I thought it would be appropriate.
Appropriate.
With what's going on. Can you see my screen?
Not yet.
Do you see it now?
Yes.
Okay.
Weird.
So,
Weird Al.
I know. Pretty funny. Can you guys hear that?
Yes. Now, we only have like 2 minutes for your whole presentation, so
okay.
Keep that in mind.
What are germs? Germs are tiny, tiny little creatures that want to kill you.
So that's like a little snippet of what it is.
But this one sounds like it's already done, though. Are you saying that you would be like inspired by this, or what? What is it?
Yeah, I'd probably want to move forward with a PSA for germs.
Okay, so like a funny PSA about germs.
Yeah, something funny, something I feel like I can be playful with instead of having something serious, you know, because I feel like a lot of PSAs are very serious, very, you know what I mean? So it would
yes.
be cool
to you know what another resource is that you might want to look at, Valerie, is the In a Nutshell mini documentaries on YouTube. I don't know if they are, it's actually German. I'll spell it here. It's spelled Kurzgesagt. Kurzgesagt. They did a mini doc on coronavirus that came out a couple days ago, and they do a really great job of having playful, even witty illustrations and animations, but the message is very serious, and that might be another good angle to cover.
Cool. Okay.
What's your plan B and C, out of curiosity? I think your A is a really good one, but
I don't have a plan B or C.
Okay.
But I can
Well,
come up with one with some by today.
let's just, for the sake of time, let's go forward with, and it's a general idea, right? I want you to still think of a sponsoring organization and stuff, but an how to prevent the spread of germs. You'll want to come up with somewhat of a unique angle. You know, who would be saying this and why? Is it a specific demographic you target? To sort of bring it in a little bit, make it a little bit more specific.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Sounds good. Thanks, Valerie.
Yep.
Who's next?
Can I ask a clarifying
I
question?
can go.
But I want to ask a question.
Yes, ask a
Is
clarifying
it
question.
TV show promo? Are you just promoting the TV show, or are you doing like the TV show's title sequence, like redoing that?
Well, it is supposed to be a promo. However, a couple people have taken it upon themselves to actually do the opening titles, a 30-second opening title for a TV show. So you are allowed to do both.
Okay. Okay.
Either one, I should say.
Okay.
Sorry, who was that said they wanted to go?
It was me,
Okay.
Rachel. So my options, I kind of I'm going between. One of them would be about talking about how it's cool to be a parent. And one would be about screen time. So those are my options. What exactly do you want us to say right now?
Can you, well, just what you said, and then we're going to grill you and ask you questions.
Okay.
So parenting is a very broad topic. What area would you specify? What do you want Alex to know about being a parent?
So some words that I have right now that I think are a little too long, but I can read them. It's, have you ever made something you wanted to show everyone? Something that walked, something that talked, that made people laugh, something that grew much bigger than you? Have you ever made something that saved someone or changed the world? And then I have two, and it would be about motherhood. So for the idea is for all of the things, for each of the sentences, I would want to show something really cool, like a scientific discovery that fit within that sentence. And then with I have to kind of show a montage of like how a kid or a child also fulfills those same things. But I don't really know.
Can you think of an organization that has made similar things?
I found a few organizations just about how it's cool to be a parent or to be a mother, but I don't know if they've made similar things.
Mm-hmm.
But they're specifically promoting motherhood.
So what is I've seen lots of fatherhood ads. Why do you think there's no motherhood ads? Like, what are you saying, that people shouldn't be afraid to still have children, or what would be your approach to motherhood? What angle would you be hitting it from?
I think my angle would be just kind of like, you can still a really cool thing to be a mother. It's not like the only way that you can change the world or affect the world is by having a career.
Oh, I see.
Being a mother, you're also changing the world. Yeah.
Okay. That is a unique message. I think that is specific enough. What was your other one? Screen time?
Yeah.
I would do the motherhood one from that angle and just make it smart, contemporary, fact-based, and also personal anecdote-based if you want. But that actually sounds good. You like that one?
Sweet.
Are you passionate about that one?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, sure. Very passionate.
Very convincing, Rachel.
So I have a question. Sorry to cut you off, but
No,
are we gonna write this PSA ourselves, or is it gonna be like the same thing that we did with this type project where we found audio and then we just used it?
Now, this is original content. It can be an existing cause, but yeah, you are going to write the script. And if you feel like you need help, feel free to get help, if you know someone in writing or advertising or whatever, but you're responsible for the script. And it should be original. It shouldn't be someone else's script.
So then how long does it have to be?
30 seconds, no more, no less. And the formula you should follow is give people enough room at the end, like 4 seconds maybe at the end, to digest either your last headline message or the URL, whatever your call to action is. So that really leaves you like 25, 26 seconds of animation.
Okay. And all the guidelines are on Learning Suite, right?
They are, yeah. Check out that assignment description. No more and no less than 30 seconds exactly.
Cool. Thanks.
Cool. You're welcome. Who's next?
I can go.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, okay.
I'll go after you. Go for it.
Okay, sweet. So I'm very indecisive, as you already know, and I am stuck between a truth campaign, like for smoking, and this show that I really like called Euphoria, because I feel like for the truth campaign, or actually either one, would be good for like animation stuff, but I just don't know which one I should go for, because the show Euphoria is like, I guess I can make up my own script, kind of like those example videos that you showed us, because I remember one with like The Walking Dead or something like that, and
Yes.
I don't think there was much talking, if I remember, or there was, I don't know. Yeah, so there wasn't. So I was thinking of maybe doing it kind of like that.
What
But
is Euphoria about? What's the show about?
it's just like a little teen show. Like the trailer should say enough. But it's like, well, the trailer is long too, but it's like very, like, I love the artistic kind of point. Like there's like, I could see myself doing like a cool animation for it. That's why I chose it. But um yeah, like the visuals are really nice and there's like a lot of glitter and I love glitter. So
Okay, or the Truth Campaign. Now, is the Truth Campaign shifted to like vaping? Or is it still?
yeah, like juuling, vaping and stuff like that.
Okay.
But I don't know. I mean, I feel like everyone knows about it and it's kind of gotten to the point where it's annoying, kind of like the commercials are kind of like cheesy / annoying sometimes, and I'm like, maybe I could not make it annoying because like of the people talking, like I feel like they're very condescending when they talk, and
Yeah.
it's like it's not really getting the point across.
Okay.
But I don't know.
I like the idea. Yeah, Truth Campaign's been around for a long time. I think you will have more success with a PSA like Truth, but I would keep exploring. I would encourage you to do a PSA just because I'm looking at Euphoria right now, and Euphoria is probably going to require a lot of footage, video footage. I don't know that the
Yeah, I
challenge
don't
with
mind
these
it though.
things, you don't mind using video footage?
No, as in like animating, like doing
Right, but
frame by
do you
frame.
think that would that fit though? It doesn't look at all to me like this is a frame by frame show, right? I mean, it's very glitzy and glossy and I'm seeing that picture of Zendaya. It looks like fashion.
Yeah,
And I don't
that's
know if
why.
frame by frame would be appropriate.
Mm.
So, I mean, if you wanted to do animation, I think you might choose especially smoke. If you did
Yeah,
vaping or
that's what I was
smoking,
thinking about. Yeah, but
then
you said maybe
okay.
not truth, but I don't know.
So I think that's still very relevant. There's still tons of people that vape, and I think your comment on the current ones, how they're condescending and a turnoff, and they maybe don't work. I would like to see your take on what messaging to send out, and then yeah, with your animation skills. What I would like to see you do is, so let's just say truth is your A, but also come up with a B and a C for possible alternate PSAs. That's what I
Okay.
would like to see you do. And if
Okay.
you end up going with truth, that's totally fine.
Sweet. Cool. Thank
Cool.
you.
Thanks, Anna. All right, Will.
Okay.
So I have 2 ideas for different PSAs. One is a little bit goofier. Let me share my screen here really quick. It would be it's called Birds Aren't Real. And it's kind of a joke conspiracy theory that's been around for, I think, 4 years now.
1000% support the Birds Aren't Real campaign.
You hate birds.
So yeah, it's just kind of this joke thing that has existed for a while. I think it'd be fun to do a satirical PSA about how birds are not real and the government's watching us through them.
They're just flying cameras.
Yeah, that's what they claim here. Can see. My second idea would be a little more like, obviously I'd keep it light and kind of upbeat, but definitely a more serious note just on social distancing and taking precautions against what's going on right now.
I'm fascinated by Birds Aren't Real. I have never really, I usually insist on the PSA having real movements behind them. It is a real movement, but I mean, that's really funny.
Let's see. Boy, this is long. I think that something like this is a little more my style, versus like attempting. I don't know. I'm not very good at being really serious.
What about being convincing? Do you think you could make a PSA that's convincing enough to get people to believe the government has been, like, birds have been around since the beginning of time, but have they always been cameras? Like,
No, so this claims that JFK was assassinated because the CIA wanted to replace birds with robots, and JFK wasn't into it. So they claim that's the cause of that, and that since the 60s, the government has systematically committed genocide of birds and replaced them with camera robots.
Okay, so it started in the 60s.
Yeah, and apparently there are actually people that believe this is a serious thing.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
But many people are aware that it's satire.
Okay, as long as you approach it straight-laced, in the same way that Will Ferrell approached his role in the movie Elf. You know, it's like it's totally
Earnestly.
ridiculous, but he does it so earnestly, and
Okay,
you are
I think I can do
you are
that.
convincing people with facts and with data. Then I'm okay with it. I'm uncomfortable, but okay with it.
Cool. Just in case this one ends up, in case I end up saying, well, maybe this isn't the one. What do you think of like the social distancing type deal?
Super appropriate and timely. So yeah, that could be good. I mean, it's due in like 4 weeks, so I think we're still going to be in the middle of it. So
Yeah, for sure. So I'll probably push both ideas forward a little ways and see which one I think is better.
yes, sketch them out and see which one has more legs.
Awesome.
Good, Will.
Thank you, Brent.
Thank you. Who's next?
I can go.
All right, go for it.
I kind of already emailed you about them. So one of them is to do something about eating local foods.
Mm-hmm.
And what I would do with that one is probably stop motion with food and fruits and vegetables, which I think could be really cool. And it would be kind of hard, but also good for me because I've never done stop motion before. So that's kind of why I would want to do that one. Plus, like my local community, which I'm currently at, just like revolves a lot around agriculture and stuff. So I know that there'd be a lot of resources and cool things I could use from my community and that kind of stuff. But then I also have this book called Your Inner Critic is a Big Jerk. And it has a lot of different stuff, not just about your inner critic, but just being a person in a creative field. But I really like some of the suggestions that are in here about fighting your inner critic. It has things like giving it a name and just like almost befriending your inner critic so that you can kind of talk to it and work together. So it's not necessarily like something beating you down, but something that you can use, which I think could be kind of fun, and you could definitely be pretty illustrative with that. So I would still be interested in doing that one. And then my third option was this based on a foundation called Every Mother Counts that just is about helping to decrease mortality rates for childbirth in certain countries, because 60% of death during childbirth is in, I think, 5 countries, something like that. So it's like, it's about that, which I think could be cool because I could kind of incorporate different influences from the different countries, but it's probably my least favorite of the 3, which is why it's number 3.
Yeah, I
think
think I
it's a little
mentioned to you
tough subject.
that it is a tough subject, and I'm just thinking from a strictly portfolio perspective here. Obviously, that is hugely important, especially for those 5 countries. But what I like about your inner critic one is that it would be a message for it. It's in your wheelhouse, right? You're a creative, talking to other creatives about how they can maybe leverage that, and it would be a little bit more original. So I think you're going to have the most success with that one.
Okay.
Hey, look, it's baby Alex. Can everybody see baby Alex?
Say hi, Noah.
Hi, buddy. Yeah, so yeah, there he is. So you good with that, Allie?
Yeah, I'm totally good with that.
Okay, awesome. Let's sketch.
Sweet.
Okay, next.
I can go. So I'm not super like for sure on any of my ideas. I don't have one that I'm like super excited about, I don't think yet. Maybe I just haven't thought hard enough about any of them. But so my first one that I thought of, actually, ironically, I thought it'd be funny to do something satirically promoting young parenthood, because honestly, it's a nightmare. But it'd be funny to like. There are good things about it, but I think it would be funny to kind of blow it out of proportion and promote it as this great thing. But also from the other side, kind of to at the same time let people know that it's not all bad, and that like there are positive aspects about being a young parent.
You know,
And then,
I like that one. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
one other one, or a couple other. So these would be a little bit more controversial, so hopefully I don't offend anybody, but I thought it'd be funny, and especially right now amid the coronavirus, I think it'd be kind of applicable to the situation to do a promotion of vaccination. Because I mean, there's not a vaccine for the coronavirus, but just amidst all the panic, like that's a real concern. And especially since it's a big deal, or was even before the coronavirus exploded. It's just a controversial topic right now. And then along with that, kind of on a even more lighthearted note, I could do something like contrary to the flat Earth belief system. That would be once again more satirical. And then, so just kind of to add diversity to my ideas, I didn't want to pin myself down. So I thought maybe if I did do a TV show promotion, pretty much, I think my favorite TV show of all time is The X-Files. I'm sure everyone's heard of it if you haven't seen it. And kind of like The Walking Dead, I think it would be an easier TV show to do a promo of this style with. But once again, I'm not. I think I'd rather do a PSA over a TV promo.
I would highly recommend you do one of your PSA ideas because I think at least 2 of those could be home runs.
Okay.
The young parenthood one, you know, could be, I'm sure you could back it up with data and facts, but you could also back it up with, you know, personal and anecdotal evidence. And the vaccination one, the trouble I see in the debate on vaccinations is that the debate is just so toxic and mean. And if you can just kindly and simply present the evidence, that will be a lot more effective. So I think either one of those, all of your PSA ideas are good. I would go with your favorite one that you are the most excited about doing.
Okay. I'll get you more in a minute, buddy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. So yeah, next time we meet, we'll look at sketches and stuff.
Okay.
So yeah, whichever. And like Will said, maybe you start sketching on 2 of them and see which one takes you farther.
Okay. Awesome.
All right. Thank you. Who's next?
I can go next.
Go ahead.
So I'm also kind of deciding between a PSA versus a TV promo still. One of the PSAs that I like would be promoting breast screenings, like to get
Mammograms.
for breast cancer, or at least check for it yearly, which is a lot of people don't do that, but it's really important for your health, especially as so I like that one. I found this PSA called Kids Health Shouldn't Be a Laughing Matter. And I like the idea of like promoting healthy lunches for kids in schools who often we feed them pretty crappy things like fish sticks and so that's one. And then as far as TV promos go, my probably favorite TV show of all time is Twin Peaks from the 90s, and I thought it could be a good option for a TV promo, perhaps.
Twin Peaks is actually one of the shows you could probably do a successful promo for. Maybe not so much the opening titles because they're so iconic and it's, you know, primarily footage based. So if you did want to do a Twin Peaks and you could make it appropriate for Twin Peaks, but also primarily your design and artwork, that would be good. But I don't know. I always think PSAs come out better.
Okay.
So mammograms. What was the other one? Did you have 2 PSA ideas?
The kids' health, like school lunches.
School lunches. I don't know. What do you guys think? What would you rather see a PSA? Which one has been overexposed? Are either of those topics more essential?
I feel like they both go through cycles of people talking about them more, and then
my wife and her family, you know, breast cancer has just destroyed so many, taken too many lives really young. That's something that's very relevant in my life. I think either one would be a winner. I think, yeah, I think maybe that might be your best bet, actually.
Okay.
If you could have, and you know, the problem with a lot of PSAs on things like cancer and whatever the rest of the reasons are that you would present for women's health, breast health, I would point those out and have it not be, it can't be too weepy, and it also can't be too lighthearted. And so finding that middle ground is super important for you. And I think you should take on that challenge.
Okay, sounds
Does
good.
that sound good, Chandler?
Thanks.
Okay, awesome. Okay, we are rapidly running out of time. How many people still have to go? 1,
I can go fast.
3. Okay, go ahead, Taylor.
So I have a bunch of ideas. They're all TV show ones, but it has to be 30 seconds, right? Like, cannot be any more. Like,
Correct.
Sold on that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so then I probably would do either the Twilight Zone, or there's a show called The OC, which is just to a song. Like, it's not really. But I think Twilight
No,
Zone
the
is
OC.
fun. So those are my ideas. I don't really have like a plan or anything. That's just like what I came up with.
I want you to come up with an A, a B, and a C for PSAs.
Okay.
Because Twilight Zone has been done
Too many times.
Many times.
What about the OC?
Oftentimes, OC's never been done. The problem with that and a lot of TV shows is it's just primarily video footage, right? And I don't want this to be a video editing project. So I want you to be able to tell stories with design. So if you can present, if you can do an approach that you feel is graphic enough, then that's probably okay. But I want to see your best ideas for PSAs too.
Okay, sounds good.
What do you feel passionate about? And then make a PSA about it.
Okay, sounds good.
What's wrong that you think should be made right, Taylor?
Gotta go think about that.
You don't have to answer right now. And then maybe send me an email so you can start sketching over the weekend.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, I can go.
Okay.
So I have a few options. 3 of them kind of revolve around like happiness and mental health. 2 ways I would take that would be like focusing on minimalist living, like cutting out stuff you don't need, or anti-social media, like no online dating, like just focusing on being present and connecting with people. I'd have to obviously like hone those ideas down a little more. I thought about kind of, because I've been looking at foundations and I haven't found one that I think really fits, but like, could I base it off of a book or something? Because
there's usually, whatever the book's about, I'm sure you could find an org that also supports the same topic. That's usually not a problem to find a legit organization for whatever topic you choose. But yeah, I mean, you could certainly get your data and research from a book.
Okay, so that's one idea, just like combating mental illness with like, are you taking care of yourself type of stuff. My 2 other ones are a pay your artists promo.
Yes.
And how it destroys the artistic community and industries if you do work for free. And then my last one, this is probably my least favorite, is the like no right way to be a feminist, because it seems like you're judged based on what kind of feminist you are. Kind of like with the motherhood thing, like you can do whatever you want and you shouldn't be judged.
Okay, so mental health, what was your second one again?
Pay your artists.
Pay your artists. See, I don't see any of those. That seems like very fertile territory for you to explore.
I think that's my favorite one so far, and I've been like thinking of stuff in my head that I could do for it.
I would go with that one if I were you. Yeah,
okay.
Let's sketch on that one, Melanie.
Okay, cool.
Okay, thank you. Who's next?
I can go. Can I share my screen?
Sure.
Okay. Let's see. Is that working?
Yep, I can see it.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay. So my first idea, I was just thinking with coronavirus, but with the angle of breastfeeding, a lot of moms aren't sure like what to do right now, like if it's okay or not, but it is, and you actually should be. Actually, is better if you do. And so I was thinking about promoting that. And the World Health Organization is kind of putting stuff out about that. So that's who it is from. So that's my kind of main idea.
Wow.
And then my second one is what you can see here, but protecting our health from toxic chemicals and household products. It's inspired by the Death by Rubber Duck book, just how there's toxic chemicals in a lot of the things we use every day in our homes and we don't really know it. So just like the message that pollution isn't just outside, but can be in our homes. I don't know that. So those are my main two. And I do want to do a PSA.
Okay. Yeah, so my only counsel to you on doing anything on Corona is that eventually Corona will go away. And if you are okay with having something that was like, oh, that happened in 2020, if you're looking for a job at the end of the year in 2021, then I mean, it's super relevant, obviously, and super important and really interesting. I hadn't even thought of that.
Yeah.
If you do choose to do the toxic chemicals thing, I think people would be shocked at how poisonous a lot of the things we have around our house and that we give our babies are. I would want you to offer up, do some research and find some data on what some of the alternatives are.
Yeah.
Because it's one of those things where there has been enough uproar about certain environmental issues that things are changing for the better. And so I would be interested in seeing your take, a young person's take on why we should stop, placing profits, toxic chemicals. It's just a matter of profit over people's health.
Yeah.
So at least in my opinion. So I would be interested in your take on that. So I might encourage you to do your plan B rather than your plan A.
Okay.
And you'll have to be, again, the voice you'll have to use will have to be informative and friendly and non-judgmental and you're a bad person sort of thing.
For sure.
So yeah, if you are into that one, that's probably your best bet.
Okay, thank you.
Cool. Thank you, Addie. Okay, we have very little time left and a lot of people, it seems like.
I can go really fast.
Okay, Juju.
So I have 3 or 4 ideas. So the first one is Vision Spring, and it's an organization that they just help people from lower income to have access to like glasses and all of their like eye care. I like that one. Then I was thinking I could do something on dyslexia, because I think there could be like fun animations I could do with that, with like words and then like switching around. The other option that I had was maybe something with like the pink tax. So there is like 2 organizations that I was looking at. The first one is Period Equity, and it's about how like for all states they want to make sure that all like period related products you don't have to pay like the pink tax for them. And then the other one is like Axe the Pink Tax, and it's about how all like most of the products that are targeted towards women, they're always like a little bit more expensive, even if it's like the same thing for men. So just like they make it pink and they can like say they can make it more expensive. And then my final option is I was thinking of maybe doing something with donating blood, or like becoming not just a blood donor, but an organ donor as well.
Blood donor and organ. I have never seen a PSA on the pink tax. I've seen people write articles, but that is fascinating to me and is one of the seemingly most easily solved injustices in our society. I kind of like that one. Are you excited about doing that one?
Yeah, I really like that one.
I mean, I think there's probably plenty of data and research there, and you could present it in a very clear, friendly, data-based way. I'd do that one if you're okay with it. The pink tax.
Thank you.
Cool. Yeah, so you should get started on your script and making sketches, Juju. That goes for all of you. Okay. Maddie, Terrell, you ready?
Sorry, I was muted. Yeah, so I have 2 ideas for a PSA and then 1 idea for a TV promo. So I'll just share my screen.
Okay.
Yeah, so the first idea would be for like refugees and like what it's like to be a refugee and ways we can help them. And then the second idea is for Feeding America. So like donating to your local food bank and other ways to support the organization. And then the last one is for a TV promo. I don't know if you've heard of the show Pushing Daisies.
Yes.
But it's just like, yeah, but sadly it was canceled. But it's just like this really quirky show, so that could be fun to make like an animated TV promo for that show.
Yeah, I think only one student's ever done a TV show opener for Pushing Daisies. So out of those 3, which one would you be the most excited about, Maddie?
Probably between like the refugee one and then the Pushing Daisies one. I don't know if one seems better.
No, I mean, again, PSAs usually you can sink your teeth into them because they require research and facts and storytelling. But Pushing Daisies is such an interesting show and a concept that I think you could work with just like still images and make it very graphic. It sounds like you're pretty. Yeah, Pushing Daisies. It sounds like it could be an interesting piece in your portfolio. If you are excited about that, I would see what we can come up with.
Okay. Yeah, I think the Pushing Daisies one would be super fun. So I might just do that one.
Okay. Let's go with that.
Awesome. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you.
I can go next.
Okay.
Okay, so I want to do a PSA, but I don't know what to do. I don't want to do anything that's super overdone, but I also like want to be able to do like a cool, like blendable, surrealistic, maybe graphic style. So a couple of foundations I was looking at are the Bra Recyclers, who collect and raise money for bras for homeless women and women of abuse and sex trafficking, just as a foundation for support and just to help them with that. And then maybe a PSA on like plastic bags and how those affect animals. Even though I know a lot of bans are going into place for that right now. Along with that is maybe something like the hashtag do one thing today, which is like do one thing today, a small thing to protect the world's wildlife. Like be that making a purchase, like not making a purchase of like fur or something that has a lot of packaging, or not stepping on a bug, or just do one small thing today. Or my last one was just promoting like childhood art education, like promoting creativity outlets for children and like getting involved in that kind of work.
Your very first one, I didn't know that such an org existed. I think that one's really intriguing and really unique and really important, which are all the boxes you need to check. Recycle, yeah. What was it called?
The Bra Recyclers. They're based out of Arizona.
Okay. That sounds really intriguing to me. And is there actual recycling going on, or is it more just a help for these people that
Yeah,
need?
so you can, like, they have a whole thing on their website for you to donate if you want to, like parameters and filling out a form, or you can just donate money. But it's like their own nonprofit.
Okay. Yeah, if you can make it an explainer as to how that actually works, how the recycling actually benefits the people and why that's important to benefit them. I think that's a really interesting, unique idea for a PSA.
Okay.
Nobody's ever done it before.
Wow, unique.
So, okay, we probably have time for one more, and then I got to teach my next class. Do we only have two more? Jamie and Valerie?
I already went. I was the very
You already
first.
went. You were the first. That's why.
Is it just me then?
Just Jamie.
Okay.
Let's do this.
So, hearing everyone else's ideas, I kind of want to come up with something more unique. But my ideas are first to do something about like pornography, or I don't know if I just want to do like addiction in general, but something that's less about like how harmful it is and more about how like there's hope like getting out of it, because I think that's something that's really lacking, especially for like pornography. A second idea would just be like a PSA about like how to help people who are struggling with depression. And then my third one would be I was thinking of doing the Face Africa organization, which just helps get water to people who need it. So like help people get access to clean water. Yeah.
Let's see. I like your unique approach on the anti-pornography, fight the new drug sort of thing. I also think there's always room for an explainer video on why getting clean water to underserved communities is so important. Between those two, which one would you be the most excited about doing?
I don't know, because I think I would feel more passionately about the addiction one, but it might be like so dark a subject that like it'd be hard for me. So I think I could do something a little bit more light with the water idea. So I'm not really sure.
The mental health one also, I mean, obviously super important and relevant. It's tough to find the right tone for those. I don't know, maybe that's a good reason for you to do it. How to help people. If you know somebody who is, has clinical depression or is depressed or other mental health, how do you help them?
Yeah.
It kind of seems like also with your pornography, when you were saying you wanted to focus, or your addiction, when you wanted to focus on the hopeful side of it. So I don't know if you would necessarily even need to go that dark if that's what you're wanting to focus on.
Yeah. Because I want it to be more hopeful, but I also don't want it to be like, oh yeah, it's okay to view pornography, so it'd be a kind of a hard balance.
Yeah, so I would focus on more the mental health one, or what's the third one? It just escaped my brain.
The water.
The water one, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm going to go out on a limb here and say there's probably been more clean water PSAs produced than there are how to help people with mental illness. So maybe I think that's probably your best bet, because there is data on it, but you can also make a very novel and compelling PSA.
Yeah.
If you're good with that, I would go in that direction.
Okay, I'll try and think of something unique for that.
Yeah, start thinking of script bullet points and sketches. That's what all of your assignment is for Monday, is to have rough script ideas and sketch ideas. And maybe some of you, as you get into sketching, will change your topic. And that's okay. Okay, I gotta go to my next class, but thank you. We'll talk soon, everybody.
Bye, thanks.
Bye-bye. Email me if you have questions.
Okay, thank you, Brent.
Bye-bye.